hit the subscribe button. Currently only 1.7% of my viewers are. Subscribe once we hit 1,000 subscribers. I'll release an exclusive special video, just for you.
The alarm blared through the pristine halls of the Interstellar Academy, its piercing sound shattering the early morning tranquility. Finn Callahan, an Australian exchange student, bolted upright from his bunk, heart pounding with a mix of excitement and apprehension. His pulse quickened as he sprinted down the corridor, past holographic displays depicting serene alien landscapes, each footfall echoing his urgency. Finn skidded to a halt outside the command center, where a group of alien students, their faces etched with concern, had already gathered. Standing at the center, Professor Zyler, an esteemed Asleal with shimmering scales that glowed under the fluorescent lights, addressed them with a stern gaze. "Attention, students," Professor Zyler began, his voice resonating with authority. "We have received a distress signal from a spaceship that has crash-landed on Earth, specifically in the Australian outback. This is not a drill." Finn's heart leapt. Earth, the cradle of humanity, known across the galaxy as a death world, was in peril. This was his chance to show his peers the resilience and bravery of Earthlings. "We need a team to embark on a rescue mission immediately," the professor continued. "Finn, given your familiarity with the terrain, you will lead this mission." Finn nodded, determination hardening his features. He glanced at his classmates, diverse in their appearances, yet unified in their apprehension. Among them was Kara, an inquisitive Asleal with scales that shifted colors in response to her emotions. She stepped forward, her eyes wide with a mix of fear and fascination. "Why Earth?" she asked, her voice trembling slightly. "Why is it called a death world?" Professor Zyler activated a holographic display, projecting images of Earth's diverse and perilous environments. "Earth," he explained, "is home to some of the most dangerous creatures and unpredictable weather patterns in the known galaxy. It's a planet that tests the limits of survival at every turn." The hologram shifted to show a virtual simulation of the Australian outback, its arid landscape dotted with hazardous wildlife. Finn felt a swell of pride mixed with trepidation. "We've got to show them what Earthlings are made of," he murmured to himself. The team quickly assembled in the hangar, prepping their ship for departure. As the engines roared to life, Finn took a moment to address his team. "Remember, stick together and stay alert. Earth's beauty is matched only by its danger." Kara, securing her harness, glanced at Finn. "Your planet is terrifying, and incredible." The journey through Earth's atmosphere was tumultuous, the ship buffeted by turbulence. Finn gripped the controls, muscles taut with effort. "Hold on," he shouted over the din. The ship shuddered, but Finn's steady hand guided them safely to the ground. They disembarked into the harsh, sun-scorched expanse of the outback. Finn led the way, every step calculated, his senses on high alert. The air was thick with the scent of eucalyptus and the distant hum of cicadas. As they navigated the terrain, the team encountered the myriad dangers Finn had warned them about. A venomous snake slithered across their path, causing one of the alien students to yelp in alarm. Finn moved quickly, using a stick to gently nudge the reptile away. "Stay calm. Panic will only make things worse." As they progressed, Finn shared stories of Earth's resilience. He spoke of bushfires that ravaged the land and the communities that rebuilt from the ashes. He told tales of explorers who braved the oceans and deserts, pushing the boundaries of human endurance. Kara listened intently, her initial fear giving way to a growing admiration. Their journey was interrupted by the sudden appearance of a territorial kangaroo, its powerful hind legs ready to strike. Finn motioned for the team to stay back. "Let me handle this." He slowly approached the creature, speaking in soothing tones until it hopped away, satisfied they were no threat. Hours passed, and the team finally reached the crash site. The spaceship lay in ruins, smoke curling from its battered hull. Finn's breath caught as he surveyed the wreckage. Amidst the debris, a figure emerged, Vortek, a rogue alien with cold, calculating eyes and a sinister grin. "Welcome," Vortex sneered, his voice dripping with malice. "You're just in time for the fun." The air crackled with tension. Vortex presence signaled danger far greater than Earth's wildlife. Finn's mind raced, formulating a plan. "We need to act fast," he whispered to Kara. "Stay sharp and follow my lead." Kara nodded, her scales shifting to a determined hue. "We're with you, Finn." With a final glance at his team, Finn steeled himself for the challenge ahead. They would need every ounce of their courage and wits to outsmart Vortex and save the stranded crew. As they moved into position, the Outback's relentless sun beat down, mirroring the intensity of the conflict that awaited them. The sun hung low in the sky, casting long shadows over the rugged terrain of the Australian outback. Finn, with his senses on high alert, motioned for his team to spread out and survey the area. They needed to find the ship's crew and neutralize Vortex before he could carry out his nefarious plans. Finn glanced at Kara, who was scanning the surroundings with a handheld device. "Any signs of life?" he asked, keeping his voice low. Kara's scales shimmered a cautious green as she adjusted the device. "I'm picking up faint life signs about 2 clicks north," she replied. "But there's interference, likely due to the ship's damaged systems." "Let's move," Finn ordered, gesturing for the team to follow him. "Stay vigilant. We don't know what traps Vortex might have set." As they trekked through the dense underbrush, the air was filled with the sounds of wildlife. Birds screeched overhead, and the rustling of leaves indicated the presence of hidden creatures. The oppressive heat weighed down on them, but Finn's resolve kept him pushing forward. They reached a rocky outcrop that provided a vantage point over the crash site. Finn peered through binoculars and spotted the wreckage in the distance, partially concealed by a copse of trees. Several figures were moving around the site, survivors of the crash. "Looks like they're alive," Finn said, passing the binoculars to Kara. "But they're in a vulnerable position. Vortex could strike at any moment." Kara's expression hardened as she surveyed the scene. "We need a distraction to draw Vortex's attention away from them," she suggested. "Something that will give us a chance to extract the crew." Finn nodded thoughtfully. "Agreed. We'll split into 2 groups. Kara, you take half the team and create a diversion. The rest of us will move in to secure the crew." As they finalized their plan, the sound of footsteps crunching on gravel reached Finn's ears. He signaled for silence, and the team froze. Emerging from the shadows, Vortex appeared, flanked by 2 imposing alien mercenaries. Well, what do we have here?" Vortex's voice dripped with mockery. "A band of interstellar do-gooders come to save the day." Finn stepped forward, his eyes locked on Vortex. "We won't let you harm them," he said, his voice steady. "This ends now." Vortex laughed, a cold, mirthless sound. "Brave words, Earthling. But you're outmatched. Surrender now, and I might spare your lives." Finn's jaw tightened. "Not a chance." With a swift motion, Vortex signaled his mercenaries to attack. Finn dove behind a boulder, narrowly avoiding a blast of energy that scorched the ground where he had stood. The air was filled with the sounds of combat, blaster fire, shouted commands, and the clash of metal. Kara and her team initiated their diversion, setting off a series of controlled explosions that sent plumes of smoke into the sky. The mercenaries were momentarily disoriented, giving Finn and his group the opening they needed. "Now!" Finn shouted, leading his team in a charge towards the crash site. They navigated through the chaos, using the terrain to their advantage. Finn's heart pounded as he reached the survivors, who looked up with a mixture of relief and fear. "Stay low and follow us," Finn instructed them. "We're getting you out of here." The survivors, a mix of humans and aliens, nodded and quickly fell into line. Finn kept a wary eye on Vortex, who was rallying his forces. The diversion had bought them time, but it wouldn't hold forever. As they made their way back towards the extraction point, Finn felt a pang of worry. Kara and her team were still engaged in the fight, and he knew they couldn't leave without them. He motioned for the survivors to keep moving, then turned back towards the fray. Kara, we need to fall back. Finn called out, his voice barely audible over the din of battle. Kara, locked in combat with one of the mercenaries, nodded grimly. Go. We'll cover you. No, Finn insisted. We're not leaving anyone behind. With renewed determination, Finn joined the fight, his movements swift and precise. He disarmed one of the mercenaries with a well-placed kick, then helped Kara to her feet. Together, they pushed back against Vortex forces, creating a path for their retreat. The team regrouped and began their retreat, the survivors in tow. The sky was darkening, the temperature dropping as night fell. Finn knew they had to reach their ship before Vortex could regroup. As they neared the extraction point, the ground shook violently, and a deafening roar echoed through the valley. Finn turned to see a massive, reptilian creature emerging from the forest, its eyes glowing with menace. Great, Finn muttered. Just what we needed. Vortex laughter rang out from behind them. You think you can escape? Not with the guardian of this land in your path. Finn squared his shoulders, gripping his weapon tighter. We've come this far. We're not stopping now. With the survivors huddled behind them, Finn and his team faced the monstrous guardian, ready for the battle of their lives. The guardian towered over them, its reptilian scales shimmering ominously in the fading light. Its eyes, glowing with an eerie luminescence, locked onto Finn and his team. Finn tightened his grip on his weapon, heart pounding as he faced this new and formidable threat. Stay together. Finn shouted, rallying his team and the survivors. We can take it down if we work as one. Kara positioned herself beside him, her scales glinting with determination. What's the plan, Finn? He scanned their surroundings, searching for any advantage. The creature was massive, but its size made it slower. We need to outmaneuver it. Keep it distracted while the others get to safety. The guardian let out a bone-rattling roar, advancing with thunderous steps. Finn and Kara sprinted to opposite sides, drawing its attention away from the fleeing survivors. The ground shook with each of the guardian's movements, and the air filled with the acrid scent of fear and adrenaline. Finn fired a burst of energy shots at the creature's flank, the blasts glancing off its tough hide but drawing its ire. It turned towards him, jaws snapping. Kara took the opportunity to aim for its eyes, sending a volley of precise shots that made the guardian recoil in pain. Now! Finn yelled. Move! The team and survivors dashed towards the extraction point, the guardian momentarily disoriented by their coordinated assault. As they ran, Finn kept glancing back, ensuring no one was left behind. The creature regained its composure quickly, shaking its massive head and letting out another roar. They reached a narrow gorge, the rocky walls providing some cover. Finn motioned for everyone to take shelter. We'll make our stand here. We can use the terrain to our advantage. Kara nodded, setting up a portable energy shield at the gorge's entrance. This should buy us some time. The guardian charged towards the gorge, its eyes burning with fury. It smashed against the shield, causing it to flicker and hum with strain. Finn and his team took positions along the rocky ledges, firing at the creature to keep it at bay. Hold the line. Finn commanded, his voice steady despite the chaos. The battle raged on, each second feeling like an eternity. The Guardians' relentless attacks tested their defenses, but Finn's strategic mind kept them one step ahead. He directed their firepower with precision, targeting weak spots in the creature's armor. In a rare moment of calm, Finn caught his breath and looked at his team. Despite the danger, they fought with unwavering resolve. Kara's focus was unbreakable, her movements fluid and calculated. The survivors, though frightened, held their ground, inspired by Finn's leadership. "We're not giving up," Finn declared. "This creature will not defeat us." The Guardian, sensing its prey's determination, let out a frustrated snarl. It paused, its eyes scanning the gorge for a new approach. Finn realized it was thinking, adapting, a sign of intelligence that made the situation even more precarious. "We need to lure it into a trap," Finn said, formulating a plan on the fly. "If we can get it to charge into the gorge, we can use the surrounding rocks to our advantage." Kara's eyes lit up with understanding. "A rock slide. It could bury the creature long enough for us to escape." Finn nodded, quickly outlining the plan. They would draw the Guardian into the narrowest part of the gorge, then trigger an explosion to send the rocks tumbling down. It was risky, but their best chance for survival. "On my signal," Finn instructed. "Get ready." He and Kara positioned themselves at the mouth of the gorge, firing at the Guardian to provoke it. The creature, enraged, charged forward with reckless abandon. Finn waited until the last possible moment, then shouted, "Now." Kara triggered the explosive charges they had placed along the cliff walls. The explosion reverberated through the gorge, and a torrent of rocks cascaded down, engulfing the Guardian. Dust and debris filled the air, creating a momentary silence. Finn coughed, waving away the dust. "Is everyone okay?" Voices answered in the affirmative, relief palpable in their tones. They had done it, against all odds, they had neutralized the Guardian. "We need to move," Kara urged. "Vortek won't be far behind." Finn led the way, guiding the group towards their extraction point. The path was treacherous, but their spirits were lifted by the victory they had just achieved. As they neared the rendezvous location, the night sky stretched above them, filled with stars and the promise of safety. They reached the extraction point, and the ship awaited them, engines humming. Finn helped the survivors aboard, ensuring everyone was accounted for. Kara joined him at the entrance, her eyes reflecting both exhaustion and determination. "We did it," she said, her voice a mixture of pride and disbelief. Finn nodded, a smile breaking through his weary expression. "We did. But it's not over yet. Vortek is still out there." As the ship's ramp closed behind them, Finn took a deep breath, preparing for the next phase of their mission. They had survived the Guardian, but the final confrontation with Vortek loomed ahead, a battle that would decide their fate and the future of Earth's reputation among the stars. The ship's engines roared to life as they lifted off, leaving the desolate outback behind. Finn stood at the helm, his gaze fixed on the horizon where the final confrontation with Vortek awaited. Beside him, Kara checked the ship's systems, her movements precise and focused. "Are we ready for this?" Kara asked, her voice steady but tinged with anticipation. Finn nodded, determination etched in his features. "We don't have a choice. We need to end this now, before Vortek can do any more damage." The ship ascended through the atmosphere, breaking into the cold expanse of space. As they approached the coordinates of Vortek's hideout, the tension on board was palpable. Finn addressed the team, his voice resolute. "Vortek has underestimated us at every turn. He thinks Earth is weak, that its people can be easily broken. Today, we prove him wrong." The team members, a mix of humans and aliens, nodded in unison. The time for doubt had passed, they were united in their resolve. Their ship docked at a derelict space station orbiting a dead planet, the eerie silence broken only by the hum of their engines. Finn led the way, his senses heightened as they disembarked and entered the station's dimly lit corridors. The air was stale, carrying the scent of metal and decay. "Stay sharp," Finn whispered, his eyes scanning for any sign of movement. "Vortek will be expecting us." They advanced cautiously, the station's labyrinthine passages echoing with their footsteps. Suddenly, a blaster shot rang out, narrowly missing Finn and scorching the wall beside him. He ducked, returning fire towards the source. Vortek's mercenaries emerged from the shadows, weapons drawn. The ensuing firefight was intense, blaster bolts flying in every direction. Finn's team fought with precision, their movements a testament to their training and resolve. Kara, take the left flank. Finn ordered, covering her as she moved. We need to split their forces. Kara darted to the side, her blaster picking off enemies with deadly accuracy. The team pressed forward, slowly but surely gaining ground. Finn's heart pounded as he fired, the weight of the mission bearing down on him. As they reached the central chamber, the doors slid open to reveal Vortek, standing at the far end of the room with a smug grin. He held a detonator in his hand, the device linked to a series of explosives rigged throughout the station. "Welcome, Earthling," Vortek sneered. "You're just in time to witness your own demise." Finn stepped forward, his weapon trained on Vortek. "It's over, Vortek. Surrender now, and we might let you live." Vortek laughed, the sound cold and devoid of humor. "You're in no position to make demands. This station will be your tomb." With a flick of his wrist, Vortek activated the detonator. Alarms blared as the explosives began their countdown. Finn's mind raced, searching for a way to disable the device. "Kara, the control panel," he shouted, pointing to the console at the side of the room. "We need to stop the countdown." Kara sprinted to the console, her fingers flying over the controls as she attempted to override the detonator. Vortek advanced, his blaster aimed at her. Finn intercepted him, their weapons clashing in a fierce struggle. "You're a fool, Earthling," Vortek spat, his strength overpowering. "You can't win." Finn gritted his teeth, using every ounce of his strength to push back. "I won't let you destroy everything we've fought for." Kara's voice broke through the tension. "I've got it." Countdown stopped. With a final surge of energy, Finn disarmed Vortek, sending his blaster skidding across the floor. He held Vortek at gunpoint, the tables turned. "It's over," Finn said, his voice filled with conviction. "You've lost." Vortek glared, defiance burning in his eyes. "This isn't the end, Earthling. Others will come." "Maybe," Finn replied. "But they'll know that humanity won't back down. We'll fight for our home, no matter the cost." The team secured Vortek, ensuring he couldn't escape. As they prepared to leave the station, Finn took a moment to look out at the stars. The battle had been hard fought, but they had emerged victorious. Back on their ship, Finn and Kara stood together, watching as the space station faded into the distance. "We did it," Kara said, a hint of relief in her voice. Finn nodded, a sense of accomplishment washing over him. "Yes, we did. And we showed the galaxy what Earth is capable of." The ship set course for home, the team united by their triumph. They had faced impossible odds and emerged stronger, proving that even in the darkest moments, humanity's spirit could shine brightly. As they sailed through the stars, Finn knew that their journey was far from over. But whatever challenges lay ahead, they would face them together, ready to defend their world and its legacy.